Well, 2016 was the banner year for John Carroll University football, and as they start a new chapter in 2017, the Blue Streaks have a new leader. Welcome to Rick Finotti and his family, his wife Rebecca, and son Frank and daughter Hannah. Thrilled to name the 18th football coach at John Carroll.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. And it's a prestigious position, and it's a great honor to lead the Blue Streak program, and especially off such a great banner year. Only looking to continue that success and strive forward.
We'll talk about that banner year, I'm sure, because it was a fun 2016 season. But I'm interested, first and foremost, what made John Carroll the right fit for you and your family?
Well, one, John Carroll has always been revered in our home. My grandfather, Bill Bolanek, was a coach here under Herb Isley, Coach Don Shula. So it's a ways back, and when Don Shula coached for the Dolphins, he would come back and mention my grandfather's name to some coaches that influenced his life, and that always stuck with me. It wasn't what position he coached or the level he coached, it was the impact that he had on others. So he's my biggest influence in terms of coaching, and also him coaching at John Carroll here. You feel like you're called to a program like this. It's a fine young man, great tradition, alumni base. It's an exciting time to be at John Carroll University.
It sure was, not just last year, but really the last several years as the Blue Streaks have really resurrected their program and put them back in the top 10 in the country. We've seen lots of top national rankings for several years now, but of course what the Blue Streaks program did last year, it was the best season in program history and had several highlights, including road wins at Mount Union and at Wisconsin Whitewater, and a win, obviously, that put them into the national semifinal. When you look at what the program has succeeded with lately, it certainly feels like you're walking into a really good situation. But what do you know about the program as it currently stands?
Well, I know one thing. I from where I was in Ann Arbor, Michigan, and a lifelong Clevelander, Eastside Clevelander, growing up in Euclid. I was always around the program. When I was coaching at St. Ed's, I would bring my team here for 4 or 5 days in the summertime, right at the beginning of June, and kick off our summer season. So I got to know Coach Cochran, Coach Arth, Coach Staley, just all the tremendous coaches that were here and fine young men, and how they treated the players, and the players would come around in the evening. And I just loved the culture that was here, and it felt like everybody had a purpose. So that I saw it from the inside, and then watching him, the success on the field, and what Coach Arthur is able to do year after year, it's a testament to him, his staff, and most importantly, these players.
You mentioned the culture. You're walking into a program with a nice culture as it currently stands, a group of guys that have really been conditioned to work hard. What's the kind of culture and tone that you want to establish as you get things rolling?
Well, one of the things that I've always strived for as a coach, as a player, is your mindset. To be a champion at any level, you better have the mindset. You have to be tough. You have to be physical. You have to take care of one another. You have some standards that you must adhere to, and those have nothing to do with talent. Everything that has to do is commitment, all the intangibles that are inside a person, the external treatment and the responsibility that each player has towards the final goal. And the wins come. The wins come. The culture and the mindset are the biggest parts of being a successful program, business, family. That to me, if you had to put one item in the front, that would be it.
That's pretty cool to see the success that Rick has had at basically every stop he's been along the way. You mentioned the most recent one up at Michigan and Ann Arbor, but locally the head coach at St. Ed's High School, where he won a couple of state championships and really turned around the culture of their program. A couple of stops on the east side in high school, both at Mayfield High School and at Benedictine. There's a big local flavor there, and there's, as people in this area know, local high school football is a real hotbed here as much as it is anywhere in the country. How important is it for you to recruit well locally?
I think that's key. You have to win Northeast Ohio. You have to win the local Catholic schools. The one luxury that I had working at Benedictine, at VA St. Joe's, my alma mater, Mayfield High School, St. Edward, you play a lot of the different teams in the area, and you see the type of talent and the character that a lot of that is displayed in the families and the young men in Northeast Ohio. And then what happened for us, luckily, at St. Ed's, we started playing teams from Pennsylvania. We started playing teams from Michigan. Then you start playing teams from Baltimore, New Jersey, and you realize there's a lot of that elsewhere, and you have to win Northeast Ohio, and you have to expand to a lot of the schools and find those young men that are interested in coming to John Carroll University, and for us, we want to get a lot of them.
What are some of the selling points as you have gotten to know not just the football program, but the university itself and the high accolades that they have consistently received from several national publications over the years? What are some of the selling points in your mind of why someone would want to come play football here?
I think number one, it's a tremendous opportunity to get a great education. It's a faith-based education. It's a faith-based program. That's one of the most exciting things that I'm looking forward to, is having a program again based in the Catholic faith, spreading that. It's just it's a great avenue for young men to explore and to develop inside and outside. So I'm really excited about that. To me, if you come to a college and your goal is not to get a 4-year degree and become the best person that you can be, then we're doing a disservice to you. So that football is a great avenue. College football is the greatest avenue that you can provide a young man for support, stability, and just the avenue to become a better person, and our alumni support base is incredible. Already, with the rumor of me taking the job, a lot of alumni have connected on Twitter and Facebook, and it's been great to see the positive remarks and the support that we're receiving and for these young men, and that's what they need. They're putting it on the line. We're supporting them, we're guiding them, we're leading them, and we want to foster leaders, and we want to make sure that these young men come, after 4 years, they're in a good position for a great career, and some guys want to move on and get into coaching or continue playing football. We're going to do everything we can to support their dream.
As you've had different opportunities, whether it's as a head coach or as an assistant coach, and certainly at different levels, what's the most important lesson you've learned as a coach?
One of the things I look at is respect. To be a respecter, to respect the head coach or the coach that that is entrusting you to do your duty, to do your job, to mold young men, to respect the young men that are putting it on the line for you, to respect the families that are making the sacrifice to, whether it's high school, pay the tuition, whether it's college, pay the tuition, or dad works that extra job and mom works bingo, all the sacrifice that it takes. You have to really respect and identify and understand what people go through to fulfill their dream. And that's a big responsibility that I take. I don't take that lightly. I never have. And I've coached 9th grade football. I've coached JV, varsity football as an assistant head coach, assistant in college, and now as a head coach. And a lot of my beliefs haven't changed that much. It's just what changed is the maturity of the player and the young man that I'm working with.
Well, I can tell you that you're going to work with a lot of very mature and hardworking, talented young guys as soon as you take the field here in the late summer. For those alumni and for those fans who haven't had a chance to reach out to you through social media, do you have a message for those who are close to the program that you'd like to share?
Well, I think one thing that they're going to have a great respect for our program. They're going to be proud of the young men and the effort that they display, and also too, once they start hearing, continue the service work and the leadership of the program. And I want them to be able to turn that TV on or come to one of our games and just see a bunch of guys that are laying it out for each other, that are supporting one another with a great energy and a great enthusiasm.
And I know you're going to have a chance to address the team for the first time here this afternoon.
Yes.
I'm sure that's an exciting feeling. Is
yeah.
there any hesitation, or are you already have the message scripted yet?
I have a message just in case I get caught up in a moment. And I go, I like to have it outlined so I don't hit on a subject more than once, repeat myself. But I do that mainly just to keep my thoughts organized. And then too, you got to be able to have some leeway to have a feel for the room, read the room, and also too, the energy that they're going to bring you is something that I'm going to feel right away, and they're going to feel the energy that I bring right away also.
Well, we are so excited to have you as the 18th head football coach at John Carroll, and can't wait to see how this chapter unfolds.
Thank you very much.
All
I
right.
appreciate it.
Head coach Rick Finotti, the leader of the John Carroll Blue Streaks.